Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. My volume was turned off. So let me turn this up again. Welcome to another episode of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. My name's Hussein. Happy to be with you. Happy you could be with me. Hope you're had a wonderful Easter and went to church and heard about the resurrection, about Jesus dying for your sins and coming back to life. And so I kind of wanted to stay today close to that theme, but a little bit from the Quran today about there's a particular phrase that is so peculiar in the Quran, and it's regarding the crucifixion. And let me see. It's in Surah 157, which is the most famous verse in the Quran. Now, I keep saying it's the most famous verse. Some people might disagree with me. I think it is because every Muslim I've ever known knows this verse. And it says, let me see this. Wait a second. Okay. It says, and for boasting, we killed the Messiah, Jesus, the son of Mary, the messenger of Allah. But they neither killed him nor crucified him. It was only made to appear so. Okay. Even those who argue for this crucifixion are in doubt. And now the way that it says it in Arabic is a little bit different than that. It says in Arabic, see if it has الذين, those who اختلفوا, differed in it, surely are in doubt. Those who differ in it. And I just was interested in that phrase, those who differ in it. And I've been thinking about this for some time now that, that it's talking about people who differ with the Islamic view, that they are in doubt. And, but, what's kind of interesting is let's look, first of all, let's look at some of the ways some other, because that translation is very bad. Let's look at the way different interpretations of that verse interpreted in English. Okay, it says Muhammad As'ad said they did not slay him nor crucify him, it only seemed to them as if it had been so. And verily, those who hold conflicting views are indeed confused, having no real knowledge. Okay, so if you don't agree with that view, you are confused. Okay, even those who argue for this crucifixion are in doubt. All right, even that is really not what it's saying. It's not how it is in Arabic. Those who disagree are confused. That's Safi Kaskas. Pickthall. Those who disagree concerning it are in doubt thereof. Yusuf Ali. Those who differ therein are full of doubts. Those who disagree are confused, having no real knowledge to follow. My goodness, Safi. Wahidun Khan, and those who differ in this matter are in doubt concerning it. Okay, and surely those who differ therein are only in doubt about it. Shakir, Leila Bakhtiyar, and truly those who are in variance in it are in uncertainty about it. Those who disagree about it are in doubt concerning it. So, and then just this is the last one I'll say. Abdul Hay, surely those who differed in it, they were in doubt about it. Really? Okay. Okay, that's what they say. anyway, but what I wanted to show is it's not us who differ and are confused. It's not us who differ and are confused about the crucifixion. If you look at the Islamic sources, you come away with a lot of confusion. You come away with a lot of confusion as to whatever this verse means. Because this verse, I don't think Muhammad knew what it meant. I don't think, it's a very confusing verse. Okay. It says, they did not kill him nor crucify him. It was in Arabic, in the Arabic, ma qatalu ma salabu, lakin shubbaha lahum. Okay, they did not kill him or crucify him, but it was made to appear so to them. Okay, what was made to appear so to them? What is the, hello, Peter Apologetics. Hello, Mike Wolf. Hello, Martez. God bless you guys. Thank you for being here. Teeve. I'm going to get to that Teeve situation here. Hello, AZ. So is the Quran stating that what people say, or does the Quran say he was not crucified? I don't know what the Quran says. If you figure it out, please feel free to help the rest of us out. I want to show some different, some of the main scholars, just because I want to show who is confused, who differs about it. Okay, and one issue. Okay. One of the questions is that, we're supposedly confused about it, but, one of the big question is who was crucified? Okay. So you're saying it wasn't Jesus who was crucified. So who was crucified? Well, the Gospel of Barnabas, the Gospel of Barnabas says that it was Judas Iscariot. Okay, because the Quran doesn't say. So let's see what this guy says. Just read you some different things. Muslims view that God tells us that Jesus was not the one who was crucified. It only appeared to everyone who was present. One interpretation is that God made Judas, the disciple that betrayed Jesus, look just like him. Assuming that Mary was present during the alleged crucifixion, she really thought it was her son. Whoever was crucified instead of Jesus must have looked exactly like him. Wow, that is just beautiful. Okay. So, some people say that it was Judas who was killed. Okay. But not everybody thinks that. Let me see. Let's just kind of look here. I'm just kind of curious now, some of the different perspective about this. If it says, okay, let's see. Halim says, they said we killed. Okay, these are the most common interpretation often is called the substitution theory. Implied object of the verb to Jesus himself. Namely, it was not Jesus who was crucified, but someone who appeared like him. Okay, the person subsequent. So, okay. All right, now listen to this, okay? But Allah controverted the Jews by placing Jesus's visage on another person who subsequently took his place on the cross. Islamic exegetes have generated a plethora of possible identities of the person who bore Jesus's image and replaced him on the cross. a passing Jew, a Roman soldier, Judas Iscariot, Simon of Cyrene, or one of the apostles such as Tatanus, Sergius, or Peter. In short, the substitutionist reading, which is the most popular among Muslims, is that someone, in fact, was crucified, but it wasn't Jesus. So, who's confused? Can you help me to understand who is confused? Okay. We Christians, we all agree 100% that it was Jesus who died on the cross. There's no difference. It says those who differ are confused. We're not confused. We know exactly who was crucified. It was Jesus. And God didn't do no magic trick to make somebody else look like him. Okay? But the Muslims, ask any Muslim who was crucified. And you'll probably get more answers than this. Just look at this, and this is the Muslim site. It says, okay, Islamic exegetes. Okay, you guys, this means these are scholars. These are Muslim scholars. These are the top-notch exegetes. They exegete the Quran and try to make sense of it. Have generated a plethora of possible identities of the person who bore Jesus's image and replaced him on the cross. A passing Jew, of course it had to be a Jew, a Roman soldier, Judas Iscariot, Simon of Cyrene, or one of the apostles such as Tatanus. Help me somebody. If anybody knows who Tatanus is, please help us. Sergius, help me with Sergius too, or Peter. Okay? So the Quran, with all, the Quran says about itself that it is kitab mufsil, detailed, let me see if I could find this here so I could show it to you. Okay. In Quran 6:114, shall I seek other than God as a source of law when he has revealed to you this book fully detailed? Those who receive the scripture recognize that it has been revealed from the Lord truthfully. Except for those who had received the scripture, none of them really believed it. You shall not harbor any doubt. The words of your Lord is complete in truth and justice. Nothing shall abrogate his words except for a goat. He is the hearer, the omniscient. Okay? If you obey the majority of people on earth, they will divert you from the path of God. They only have conjecture. Okay? But it's perfectly detailed. This book is fully detailed. Fully detailed. Okay? But who was crucified? Who was crucified? He left it to the exegetes to tell you. A passing Jew, a Roman soldier, Judas Iscariot, Simon of Cyrene, one of the apostles, Tatanus, Sergius, or Peter. It's like, who's confused? Who is the one who's confused? Who's the ones who differ? You guys, I should say this, for if there's any Muslims watching. If someone doesn't believe it was Jesus who was crucified, they're not a Christian. So the Christians cannot differ about this. There's absolutely no possibility that a Christian can differ about this, because if they don't believe it, they're not a Christian. You have to believe it, that it was Jesus who was crucified and rose again in order to be a Christian. So the ones who differ about this are not the Christians. They are the ones who can't tell you in their perfectly detailed book who was crucified. Now, the Quran tells you about talking ants that talk to each other. The Quran tells you about Solomon dying and standing for 100 years in place while he's dead until a bunch of termites ate his cane and he fell over. For 100 years he was dead. Nobody knew about it until the termites ate his cane and he fell over. The Quran tells you about that. It tells you about the talking ants. But it does not tell you who was crucified. So who differs? Who's the one who's in confusion? You know? And so let's just look at some of these. Let's just look at some of what some of the scholars say about this. It was Marian. Marian said, it was anyone but Jesus. It was anyone but Jesus. Okay, the verse about the Quran being clear is 614. Fully detailed, perfectly detailed, but who was crucified? The most important fact in all of history, and it doesn't tell us who he was. Okay, so I just want to look at some. Let's look at what some of the scholars say, just to see who's in confusion, you guys. Who is confused? Okay, and Al-Maududi, he's really Al-Maududi. Let me just I want to take this out so we could read it together. Okay, this verse is explicit on the point that the prophet Jesus Christ was rescued from crucifixion, and that the Christians and Jews are wrong in believing that he died on the cross. It's explicit. It's very clear about that. A comparative study of the Quran and the Bible that most probably shows that most probably it was Jesus himself at his trial in the court of Pilate, who was sentenced to death, but they could not kill or crucify him, for Allah raised him to himself. Okay, so just this part right here, the fact that he was standing in front of Pilate and he disappeared after Pilate sentenced him to death, this is what happened. Pilate knew fully well that Christ was innocent and had been brought to his court out of jealousy. So he asked the crowd whether Jesus Christ should be released on the occasion of the festival or Barabbas, a notorious robber. But the high priest and elders persuaded the crowd to ask for the release of Barabbas and for the crucifixion of Jesus. After this, God, who can do anything and everything he wills, raised Jesus to himself and rescued him from the crucifixion. And the one who was crucified afterwards was somehow or other taken for Christ. Nevertheless, his miraculous escape does not lessen the wicked crime of the Jews, because they knew it well that the one whom they crowned with the crown of thorns, and on whose face they spat, and on whom they crucified, was Christ, the Son of Mary. As regards the matter of it was made doubtful for them that they had crucified Jesus, we have no means of ascertaining. Therefore, it is not right to base on mere guesswork. Okay, but anyway, he doesn't say nothing. The rest of, but he does make a comment about those words. Those who have differed, the Christians, they do not agree in their versions of the crucifixion. 100% lie. 100% lie. Al-Maududi. So disappointed. You know, one reason I like to read Al-Maududi sometimes is because he's a little bit more modern than some of the older guys, you know. But he is, man, I'm so surprised with all the knowledge, with all the internet, with everything that's available. He still says something so pathetic like this. They do not agree in their versions of crucifixion. Really? Every single Christian believes Jesus Christ was killed and that he was crucified and that he rose again after 3 days, or else they're not Christians. So this is absolute baloney. The very fact that they offer so many different accounts of the matter by itself is proof that they possess no definite knowledge of it and are therefore in doubt about it. No, we don't. We don't offer so many different versions of it. You're wrong. You're a liar. Okay? One version is that the person who was crucified was not Jesus, but someone who bore his likeness, whom the Jews and Romans had disgracefully put on the cross, while Jesus was standing nearby and laughing at their folly. You guys, this right here is a myth. Now, the one who came up with this myth, I believe the guy's name was Basilius or something like that. But even Basilius, he took it from, I believe, from Simon the magician in the book of Acts. He's the one who came up with this craziness that God made somebody else look like Jesus. He's the one who came up with that originally. And Basilius, he's the one who continued it and developed it a little more. And there's actually a myth. It's a famous myth. It's called the Laughing Jesus. And that's a Gnostic gospel. Okay. It's one of those insane gospels that the History Channel and Discovery Channel and PBS and CNN and all of those insane atheists try to pawn off on you on Christmas. Every Christmas they come up with some crazy, atheistic, insane, Gnostic materials. But this really was a Gnostic gospel, and no Christian believes it. It's insane. It's such an insult to Jesus. It's such a horrendous insult to Jesus. Almost as bad as what Muhammad came up with. But in this Laughing Jesus story, what happens is that they're taking Jesus out to be crucified, and then someone else carries the cross, okay, like Simon Cyrenian carrying the cross. And what Jesus does is that while Simon Cyrenian is carrying the cross, he does this magic trick. Boom! And he makes Simon Cyrenian look like him. While Jesus goes up into a tree and he's watching, laughing at them. And it's called the Laughing Jesus. It's a satanic, Gnostic story that was around before Islam, and Islam took it. Islam took some of the basic elements of it because somebody was made to look like Jesus, right? And so that is the story of Islam. It's closer to Islam, but no Christian believes it. And he's making it look, Al-Maududi is making it look as if there's a bunch of Christians who believe this. No Christian ever believed this, okay? It's an insane, Gnostic, satanic lie. Horrendous insult, horrendous blasphemy against Jesus. No Christian ever believed this. But Al-Maududi is making it look like there's a group of Christians, that there are Christians who believe this insanity. Okay. And so he's saying those are the ones who differed. No, we didn't differ. No Christian ever believed this. Okay. This is a myth, like the Quran. Okay. The very fact that they offer so many different accounts, okay, baloney. One version, okay, is that, and Jesus was standing by laughing at their folly. Another version is that the one who was nailed to the cross was Jesus, but he did not die on the cross and was alive, and he was taken down from it. Okay, now that's kind of called the swoon theory. The swoon theory, which is another insanity that Germany came up with, And then the Muslims adopted, because the Ahmadi Muslims, like Shabir Ali, they believe this. And I don't know if you guys watched the other day when David Wood did a debate with that guy, that Muslim guy. I think he believes it too. I think he believed in this too. You know, that they took him into a cave. Shabir Ali, Zakir Naik, you know, they believe this insanity, the swoon theory, which is that Jesus, he didn't die, and then when he was in the cool cave, the smell of the you know, the what, you know, the myrrh and aloes and all that awakened him, and he got up and he miraculously goes and rolls the stone away and walks out. And insane swoon theory. It's such a joke. But this is what he's saying. He says there's Christians who believe that. No Christian believes that. If they believe that, they are not a Christian. Okay, if they believe that, they are not a Christian. We don't differ on it. Muslims differ on it. We don't differ on it. And you want to talk about Muslims differing? You want to talk about Muslims differing about this? You know that Razi says Jesus died for 3 days. I believe he said 3 days. There's some who say Jesus died for 7 hours. There's some who say he died for 7 days. These are the different Islamic theories about the crucifixion. And you know what? The Ahmadis believe he was crucified. Zakir Naik, he believes he was crucified, and then, like Jonah, he uses the Jonah theory that, you know, the way Jonah, after 3 days, you know, that Jonah didn't die when he was in the belly of the fish, but he came, you know, he was spit out. And so they're saying Jesus didn't die, you know, because they said as Jonah was in the belly of the earth 3 days, 3 nights. So they're saying that Jesus wasn't buried, or he didn't die. That's what the Ahmadis believe. No, they're Muslims. Ahmadis are Muslims. You can say, oh, no, they're not real Muslim. They're not Muslim. Well, they think they are. They think you're the fake Muslim, you know, so they do believe. And so the Muslims are the one who differ about this, not the Christians. We know he died. We know he was buried. We know he came back to life after 3 days. We don't differ about it. Muslims differ about it. Okay, the Ahmadis say one thing, the Shia say one thing, the Sunnis say one thing, and then there's other sects of Islam. Some of them, Razi, he said he was crucified and he died for 3 hours. You know, and then don't forget the guy, our favorite sheikh. Let me, you know, I'll get in trouble for this. You know, I won't be able to monetize this video, but don't forget this. And this guy, don't tell me this guy isn't a Muslim, you know, but find another Muslim who agrees with this guy.
Did Allah do to make it appear that he died? Let me warn you. And my language is sometimes very harsh because that's the only language some people can understand. Don't come with this nonsense, because it is not only pathetic nonsense, it is absolutely sinful to say that Allah, that Allah caused someone else to take the appearance.
Did you guys understand what he says there? A'udhu billah min had Allah. He says, I take refuge in Allah from this Allah. I take refuge in Allah from this Allah, the one who did this magic trick to make someone look like Jesus. That's what he's saying. This is on TV, you guys. He's a sheikh.
That Allah caused someone else to say that Allah, that Allah caused someone else to take the appearance of Nabi Isa alayhi salam, and that innocent man, innocent because he never claimed to be the Messiah, he was crucified. Wait for judgment day with that nonsense. Pathetic nonsense. It's not.
You hear what he said about that magic trick, that switch? He called it nonsense, pathetic nonsense.
there in the Quran. It's in your imagination.
He says it's not in the Quran, it's in your imagination.
That's what it is. And yet it took the world of Islam by storm. What a brainwash ummah we are today. Well, then what happened? Well, then why don't you go to the Quran? Let the Quran explain rather than go on fancy flights of imagination. You're going to tell Allah on Judgment Day, you caused that man to assume the appearance of someone? And he who never claimed to be the Messiah, he was crucified. That is an act of injustice. You attributing injustice to Allah? What foolishness. Where are the scholars who will correct this foolishness? That's why I have to be so forceful in my language. Allah took his soul. They thought he was dead. They took out the body. They put the body in the cave. They sealed the cave. Allah returned the soul. As simple as that. Nobody knew that the soul was returned. And Allah raised him. But let me warn you one more time. If you stick with this theory of substitution, you are going to be in a pathetic state on Judgment Day. Let me warn you one more time. This is a simple explanation from the...
So there you go. Another Muslim who differs. Another Muslim who differs. Okay, not the Christians. We don't differ. We have absolute 100% agreement. Catholic, Orthodox, Protestant, non-denominational, denominational, independent, whatever. We all agree that Jesus Christ died on the cross. He was dead for 3 days, and after 3 days, he rose from the dead. He died, was buried, and rose again. 1 Corinthians 15. All of us are in total agreement about that. But the Muslims aren't in agreement. So when this verse says those who differ are the Muslims, not the Christians. We never differed on it. And with those little fairy tales that this guy comes up with, Maududi, about the laughing Jesus or the swoon theory, no Christian believes him. No Christian believes him. Muslims do believe the second one, but Christians don't. Okay. Then you get this. All right. But he was taken. Okay. Some others say he died on the cross, but came to life afterwards and met his disciples more than 10 times and talked to them. Not some, all. You got that word some wrong. Some others. No, not some others. All Christians believe that. And if they don't believe it, they're not Christians. If they don't believe that he rose again, they're not Christians. Okay? Christians believe he died, was buried, rose again after 3 days. Okay? Still others say that the death due to crucifixion occurred on the physical body of Jesus and he was buried, but the divine spirit within him was raised. There are still others who say that the death of Jesus came to life with his body and was raised with his body. Obviously, if Christians had any knowledge of truth, they would not have given so many different versions of it. We don't have many versions. Muslims have many versions. So let's look at what Jalalain says. Okay, see if we get some agreement here. He says, "As for their boasting, we slew the Messiah, Jesus, the son of Mary, the messenger of God, as they claim. In other words, for all of these reasons, we have punished them." God exalted is saying, repudiating their claim that they killed him, and yet they did not slay him, nor did they crucify him. But he, the one slain and crucified, who was an associate of theirs, the Jews, was given the resemblance of Jesus. So Jalalain, you guys, he's one of the top-notch guys. One of the top-notch guys. And he says it was one of the Jews' associates. Okay, not one of the disciples, not a Roman, not, Simon the Cyrene, but an associate of the Jews who came to arrest Jesus. So he's got somebody else. And again, who is it? Some associate. Who was crucified? Jalalin adds to the list, you guys. Jalalin adds to the list. Some associate of the Jews. Okay, so, he doesn't clarify things at all. In fact, I call this confusion. Those who differed are in confusion. Yes, there's lots of confusion. This looks like confusion to me. Okay, and those who disagree, okay, in other words, God put Jesus' likeness on him so that they thought it was Jesus. And those who disagree concerning him, that is concerning Jesus, are surely in doubt regarding the slaying of him. No, we're not. For some of them said when they saw the slain man, the face is that of Jesus, but the body is not his. Yo, boy, yeah, he came up with something new there. Oh my goodness. Now Jalalin brought something I've never heard before. In all my years, I've never heard this. Jalalin has this phantom who has the face of Jesus, but somebody else's body. It's like, who's in confusion, you guys? Who differs? Oh my goodness. Jalalin, I'm so disappointed. So disappointed that you came up with a crazy theory like this. But look, those who differ are confused. Who's confused? Who's confused? Listen to this again. Oh man, I've never heard this before. This is new. Okay, when they saw the slain man, the face is that of Jesus, but the body is not his. And so it is not he. And others said, no, it is he. They do not have knowledge of it, slaying of him. Only the pursuit of conjecture. Ila itba'azan is a discontinuous exception. In other words, instead, they follow conjecture regarding him, that which they imagined they saw, and they did not slay him for certain. Okay, wow. Jalalin took it to a new depth, you guys. Jalalin really took it to a new depth. And boy, there's no holes in this narrative. Okay, you got Sergius, you got Judas, you got Thomas, you got Tatianus, you got this, you got the Roman soldier, you got the associate of the Jews, and now you got someone who's got the head of Jesus and the body of someone else. It's like, yo, boy, yay! Who's in confusion, you guys? Who differs? This is just, look, and there's more, you guys. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Confused. Yeah, Satan is the author of confusion. Dang. And they say we are confused. Jeepers. Okay, here's Ibn Abbas, you guys. Ibn Abbas is Muhammad's cousin. Nobody's going to get it more right than him. Okay. And because of their saying, we slew the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, Allah's messenger, Allah destroyed their man, Tatianos. Please help me, somebody. Who the heck is Tatianos? Okay. They slew him not, nor crucified him, but it appeared so unto them. Allah made Tatianos look like Jesus. You guys, this is Ibn Abbas. This is Muhammad's cousin. Nobody's more likely to know the answer than this. And yet this, he added a name, you guys. Tatianos is a new name. Okay. So who's in confusion? Who it differs? Nobody more than these Islamic scholars, you guys. Okay. And so instead of him, and lo, those who disagree concerning his killing, are in doubt about his killing. They have no knowledge thereof, save pursuit of a conjecture. What about this? Not even conjecture. They slew him not for certain. Certainly they did not kill him. We agree with you. The Jews did not kill him. The Romans killed him. Okay, so there you go, you guys. And now let's go to the master of all, Mr. Ibn Kathir, and let's hear what he has to say. Okay, now you guys remember what who was it? Al-Maududi said that Jesus was in front of Pilate, and it was while he was in front of Pilate that he was, raptured, and somebody else made to look like him. Okay, well, according to Ibn Kathir, some guys, when they wanted to arrest Jesus, they went to the king of Damascus. Yo, boy, yeah, to the king of Damascus. What does he have to do with anything? Well, he did. They went to him, and he said, when he heard about Jesus, he said, crucify him and put a crown of thorns on his head. So he came up with all of that, okay? And when the king's deputy in Jerusalem received these orders, he went with some Jews to the house that Isa was residing in. So Isa has a house, okay? And he was there with 12, 13, or 17 of his companions. Okay, you guys, no Christian is confused about how many disciples there were. We know there were 12. We know there were 12, but Ibn Kathir is confused. He said it was either 12 or 13 or 17. Who differs? Who's confused? Is it 12, 13, or 17? Okay, we're not confused. We know it's 12. Every Catholic, Orthodox, Protestant, Independent, non-denominational, denominational independent, whatever. We all agree there were 12 disciples. We don't differ. There's no differ. But Ibn Abbas, Ibn Kathir here says it was either 12 or 13 or 17 disciples. No Christian ever had this confusion. Okay? All right. And then, you guys, but it gets even better. It says, that day was a Friday in the evening. Oh my goodness. They surrounded Isa in the house and to be made, okay? And when he felt that they would enter the house or that he would sooner or later have to leave it, he said to the companions, who volunteers to be made to look like me, for which he will be made my companion in paradise? A young man volunteered. Who's this young man, you guys? Is it Sergius? Is it Peter? Is it Tatianus? Is it the Roman soldier? Is it the wandering Jew? Who is this? This is somebody new, you guys. This is another added to the list of the plethora of confusion in Islam. Okay. It says, a young man volunteered, but Isa thought, oh, he's too young. He asked the question a second and third time. What's amazing to me in this is that none of the disciples wanted to die for Jesus, according to Ibn Kathir. None of the disciples wanted to die for Jesus, where in reality, all of them died for Jesus, except one. They tried to kill him, but he wouldn't die because God protected him. But all of them died for Jesus. But according to this Ibn Kathir pathetic explanation, none of them wanted to die for Jesus. So this young boy kept raising his hand. And finally, Isa said, okay, you will be the man. And Allah made the young man look exactly like Isa. What a mythology. Remember what the Muslim guy says, pathetic nonsense. Pathetic nonsense, okay? And then, you guys, what happened? Okay, remember what Al-Maududi said? Al-Maududi says that most scholars say that Isa was in front of Pilate, that he went to Pilate, and in front of Pilate, he was raptured, and then somebody made to look like him. This is after the Pilate trial. Well, this is before Gethsemane, supposedly, when they came to arrest him, or in Gethsemane, but they say it's in a house. Okay, so this is before the trial. And what what supposedly happened. This is an amazing story. This is truly miraculous. This is more, I think, more wondrous than Burak, the flying donkey. And it says the young man was made to look exactly like Isa, while a hole opened in the roof of the house. So a hole opened in the roof of the house, and Isa was put to sleep and ascended to heaven through the hole in the roof. You guys, that's not the same story Al Maududi told. Al Maududi says he was in front of Pilate. So who differs? Who is confused? Is it the Christians? Who is it the ones who differ? We don't differ. We know the true story. We don't believe any of this nonsense. Pathetic nonsense. Okay? So anyway, but you guys, there's a couple more. Please forgive me. Allow me a few minutes to just show you the others really quickly here. And Montez. That's, yes, the Gnostic Gospels from 440 AD. If you want to come on, Montez, تفضل أخي. Okay, I want to also show a couple more, just to show you that who's the ones who differ? It is not the Christians. Okay, who's the ones who differ? Okay, share screen. And Maududi. Okay. Okay, sure. Okay. Oops. Hello, Montez. How are you?
Hello. How is everyone?
Everything's great, man. I just kind of got this crazy idea to do this tonight, and so your voice is a little low, bro.
Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah. So yeah, let me see if I can pull up this. Okay. Just want to say that Tafsir al-Qurtubi. Okay. I believe. Ibn Talha. Okay. That al-Qurtubi, the meaning of mutawafika is I will cause thee to die. Now, Qurtubi, al-Qurtubi, okay, one of the most respected scholars says that Jesus did die. So who's the ones who differ? Who's the ones who differed? Is it the Christians or is it the Muslims who've got all of these unbelievable, just unbelievable number of explanations of something, and all of them are different from each other. They don't agree if he died. They don't agree who it was. They don't agree how it happened. They don't agree when it happened. All of it is confused. But with
Exactly.
us, it's exactly the same. Every single Christian believes. They came and arrested him. He was taken to the trial. People turned on him. He was crucified, died, was buried. After 3 days, he rose again. No, we don't differ about it. But the Muslims do differ. Amazingly, they differ about it. So, so have you thought about this, brother?
Absolutely. I even have the website of
Okay.
the tafsirs that Rob Christian actually used to prove that actually Jesus did die.
Okay.
I have it on my
Oh, okay.
screen.
Okay, let me just take this one here off. And okay.
So basically, the verse, it's in chapter 3, Al Imran.
Mhm.
And if you go to verse 15, now I'm gonna send the link, guys. And I want you, Steve, to uh, post it so people can see it. But the problem is it's written in Arabic, so I don't know.
Okay.
But you can actually keep it, use it. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna show you guys a trick so you can translate it to better, like this, chapter 3, right here. Now, Steve knows Arabic, but when you guys use this page, go to the sixth, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Now let's take this fifth one.
وقال إسحاق ابن بشر عن إدريس عن وهب أماته الله 3 أيام ثم بعثه ثم رفعه. He's saying Allah made him to die 3 days, then he raised him and ascended him. Wow. Wow. I want to see that again. I want to see all those again. Okay, here's the translation. He puts it with Google Translate. Ishaq ibn Bishr said, on the authority of Idris, on the authority of Wahab, God caused him to die for 3 days, then resurrected him, then raised him up. Wow. Wow.
But wait, Steve, Jesus didn't die. Allah made him actually appear to die. Okay, makes sense.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome.
There's even more. وقال مطر الورق, which means right here.
Okay.
Let's take this one. Now this one doesn't say that he died in 3 days and all that. But if you look closely, this is the second one.
He
It says
passed
he passed away. Go
from
ahead.
the world, not the death of death. It's just a death. It's a death, but it's not a death of death, whatever death of death means. Likewise, Ibn Jarir said he passed away, meaning he took him away. You see, they're dancing, they're belly dancing, to quote Rob Christian. So, wow.
And this one too.
Okay, Ibn Ishaq.
This one, yeah, this one is very funny.
Okay. Ibn Ishaq. Okay, guys, this is the #1 biographer of Muhammad. The Christians claim that God caused him to die for 7 hours and then brought him back to life. My goodness. We do? Find me these Christians who say this. It shows if they're this dishonest about that, what else are they dishonest about? You know?
I mean, they don't have even eyewitnesses for their prophets.
Muhammad ibn Ishaq said, on the authority of one who does not accuse, on the authority of Wahab ibn Munabih, who said, God took him to death for 3 hours of the day when God raised him to himself. So he did die and was, you know what? You know what's so funny is that those who differ, every single one, even when they're agreeing that he died, they still differ. Was it for 3 hours? Was it before this? Was it out? You know, the time and they differ about everything. You know, and
Unbelievable. Is there also?
Amatahu, he made him to die.
Yeah.
So this is from Rob Christian's page.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, he's amazing.
Yeah. He is. Do you know which verse that mentioned Paul?
Mentions Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a verse that you know what it mentions is the three disciples.
Yeah. Because I forgot.
It talks about, I think, let me see. Okay. I think it's Quran 352 to 53. No. No, that's not the one. I know the one you're talking about. The one, and they said that it's John and Peter and
Paulus.
yes. Oh, is it 36, 13 to 17? I think so. 36, 13 to 7. And then if you go to the tafsir, it tells you who they are. Ask them, Lord, if I ask them, is it too creative? I don't think that was it either, actually. Oh, 13 to 17.
13 to 17.
I think yeah, look at verse 17, because I know it's one that talks about there were two disciples and then there was another one. Yeah, let me see. Oh, this 17 though. 13.
No.
No?
Yeah. Maybe it's 55. Let me see. And then 23.
What is
it? It's not that one.
Okay.
Okay. There you go. That's the one.
Oh, you found it? What is it?
Chapter 36, 14.
14, 36, 14? Okay.
Yeah, 36, verse 14.
Okay. We sent them two messengers, but they rejected both. So we reinforced the two with the third, and they declared, "We have indeed been sent to you as messengers." Mursalin. Okay. And this is what Ibn Kathir, is this Ibn Kathir?
Mm-hmm. My favorite.
Yeah. And his saying, "We have sent to them too, but they denied them," meaning they initiated the denial. We strengthened them with a third, meaning we strengthened their support with the third messenger. Ibn Jurayr said, the authority of Wahab Suleiman, the names of the first two apostles was Shimon and John. That's Simon, Peter, and John. The name of the third was Paulus or Paul, and the village was Antioch. So this is.
But wait, Steve. Paul was a false prophet.
Yes, I've heard it. I've heard it all. And Christians don't follow Jesus; they follow Paul. But apparently, Muhammad didn't think that.
Yeah, I mean, such a there's so many contradictions. It's unbelievable. But anyway,
Yeah. Thank you for showing us that, and thank you for showing us that stuff from Rob Christians, because it just shows you the Christians do not differ. They don't disagree on this subject. Now we disagree about a bunch of stuff. There's lots of disagreement about lots of different things in Christianity. But one thing they do not differ and they don't disagree about is the death, crucifixion, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ and his ascension. We know Christian, and if you do disagree with it, you're not a Christian. So when this verse says that those who differ are in confusion, we don't differ. The Muslims are the ones who differ, and they are in massive confusion, about this. When you were a Muslim, what did you believe about this, the crucifixion? Did you ever think about who was crucified?
Oh yes, I actually did thought about it a lot, because how could God deceive the whole world? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
By just deceiving them, just like that,
Mm-hmm.
while there's no evidence for the Muslims' claim
Mm-hmm.
that Jesus didn't die. But what are you talking about? You have so many evidence. You have so many people are outside of the Christian source. They're all saying
Mm-hmm.
that Jesus did actually die.
Yes.
There was so many eyewitnesses. Yet
Yes.
these guys, they trust on oral tradition, which is not very trustworthy. That's a huge problem. You
Mm-hmm.
have even Caesar, Constantinople. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. There's so many people that are outside.
Yes. The non-Christian sources like
Yeah,
Josephus and uh, the Tacitus and the Roman uh, historians and stuff that wrote about this, and I mean, I think there's 12 extra biblical sources that mention the crucifixion, that were extant, I mean, from the same time period, contemporary with Jesus. And so, I mean, the evidence is, and and this also leads us inevitably, to the issue that you brought up. I mean, when you were a Muslim, did you think about the fact that why did Allah do something so crazy and deceive all these people?
yeah, because I thought this is actually kind of a bit unfair.
Mm,
Like, what happens to those Christians at
mhm.
that time? Are they basically are going to hell? No, the Muslims they're gonna say no, 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 no. They are actually going to heaven. How? There's so many manuscripts. There's so many evidence.
Mhm. And the
You
Quran,
can't. Yeah,
yeah, and the Quran says those who say three, that they have a painful torment in the fire. They're those who say Allah is Jesus. They are, they're going to be punished. They're going to be punished in the fire. So the Quran is ruthless about this subject. About believing that Jesus is God, and uh,
yet there are even verses that actually confirms the deity of Jesus.
of
And
course,
there's also many verses that there's two verses that actually confirms that he died.
yes, yes.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
Andrew,
Yep.
Salamu alayhi yawm wulidtu yawm amut yawm ab'athu hayy. Peace be on me the day I'm born, the day I die, the day I come back to life. And you know what? I have videos of sheikhs. I have videos of sheikhs saying, when it says, peace be upon me the day I'm born, the day I die, the day I come back to life, that what it really means is peace be upon me the day I'm born, the day I am raised, and then the day I die. They change the order, and they say that, and there's this one sheikh who says, what this one sheikh says? He says, if I say Ahmed and Mahmoud came to my house, I could also say Mahmoud and Ahmed came to my house. It doesn't matter if it's Ahmed and Mahmoud or Mahmoud and Ahmed. That is it, And so when it says, no, inni mutawaffiku rafa'ak ilayya, they're saying, no, first ana rafa'ak, ba'din raha mawtak. I'm going to raise you, and later on, I'm going to make you die. And they're
Oh man.
saying, you know what? If Ahmed and Mahmoud come to my house, maybe I could say Mahmoud and Ahmed came to.
Oh my God.
That's pathetic. Huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, okay. So the guy is on top on the right side. This is me. Okay, but
This
don't
you?
please. Yeah, this is me.
Oh, dude, please, please. I don't want people to see you, man. I don't want to be any problem for you, brother.
No, no, no. It's okay. It's okay. Really, really, it's okay. Um, Look, guys, don't make fun of my hairline. Okay, I have a
Here,
uh,
here, just look over here and celebrate what he has. So,
yeah, exactly. But I'm kind of getting there. You know what I'm saying? Soon. Right? But so
no,
basically, yeah, I had a debate with this guy. Hold on, hold on. Where? Okay, there you go. I had a debate with this guy. You know what I'm saying? He's saying that there is no evidence that confirms that Jesus and Moses actually existed. And I giving him links, videos, and especially a video about Sodom and Gomorrah, which is actually a real city. Okay, and there's a huge documentary about Sodom and Gomorrah, the Noah's Ark. Let me show you. Yeah, this one. But we are going to watch it later, not right now. Maybe even next live stream,
okay,
because
wow,
it's 2 hours.
okay,
So there is 2 hours of evidence, of biblical evidence that these events happened. And this guy, I even showed him the Shroud Turin where Jesus actually died in it,
mm-hmm.
with it. And there's like still blood. And I even told him, go zoom in his face, zoom it. And he was kind of a bit nervous. I don't know why, because he's kind of scared, which is weird. I don't know. But anyway, he's trying to say, oh, this is not his face. This is fake. Oh, and I was like, okay, zoom in. Why are you scared? You know what I'm saying? And he was shaking, by the way. But anyway, first, this is actually me having a discussion with him about the evidence that I gave him about the Sodom and
More,
Gomorrah,
yeah. Wow, great,
and
awesome.
he just keeps shaking.
First, yes, I've heard of him, and there's a few other Thutmosis, yes.
Wow,
Okay.
Like for example, Tutankhamun, that is nicknamed King Tut in America. We have not only depictions of him, but we have his name also, right? So we have that in his tomb, and we have that in other places. So he is historically attested. There's
I don't deny it.
attestation of his historicity. Come again?
I don't deny what you're talking about at all.
Okay, but
Right,
but, but
it's fine.
Jesus Christ is not attested historically. There is no attestation of his historicity. I'm sorry, of his historicity. You see, and that's why I've been asking about Moses and also about Jesus Christ. For a man,
Yeah, I mean, we give him bro. I tried to give him I was very honest, sincere,
mhm,
and genuine. I gave him all the evidence. I explained him the best I can.
mhm.
The dude denies all the evidence that we gave him. Like I wasn't even arguing, by the way, with
Mhm.
him. I just trying to tell him like, there you go. These are the evidence, because you see, the Bible, Christianity, literally all these evidence that out there on the internet literally speaks for itself.
Yeah,
The Bible defends itself.
yeah. And you have contemporary evidence. Josephus wrote about Jesus, this wonder worker who was crucified, who was, I mean, and he was a Jewish historian, working for the Romans, and he wrote about him. But
Yeah,
there's nothing about Muhammad from the 7th century. I mean, there had been technological development and advancements by the 7th century that was much more advanced than in the time of Jesus. And yet there was nothing. There's nothing from the 7th century about Muhammad.
I mean, after we actually got him busted, he then tried to ask another question. Oh, but wait, guys, is there evidence, is there records where Jesus and Moses, of them actually living at that time while they were recording his accounts or his eyewitnesses? Like, for example, he even asked, do you have records or evidence of him actually exist, like at his time? I was like, I'm saying, in my head, I was like, no, I mean, there is no evidence, because the Christians back in the day, they were being prosecuted. So where can I give you these evidence? The only evidence we have is the eyewitnesses. So I don't understand.
Well, they
Anyway.
found a lot of evidence. There's a ton of evidence. And
Yeah, by the way, you even have the Noah's Ark in the mountain of Ararat, which is located in Turkey. Ron White made a whole documentary, by the way.
yeah, but wait a minute. I just got to say, because my wife is Armenian, and Ararat is originally in Armenia, and the Turks came and took it, but it was originally Armenia. I have to say that because of my wife. So, okay.
I mean, these guys are stupid. So anyway, let's continue.
You know what? You show the evidence, and then if they just want to not believe, but you never know. You know what this one guy said? He was a preacher, and he said he was an evangelist, and he was working with Muslims and stuff, and and they were so stubborn and everything. And his one of his disciples said to him, he said, "Dude, aren't you frustrated?" He says, "No, because I'm not trying to convert them. I just want to put a rock in their shoe. When you got like a little rock in your shoe and you can't walk right, and it keeps bothering you all day long until you take the rock out of your shoe. You see, when you put little things like this, like putting a little rock in their shoe, and it's going to keep bothering them until they have to deal with it." And so,
Yeah. And also, I wasn't being making fun of them or anything else. I was just kind of following their logic. Where is these guys are going? You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like they're just willfully ignorant or arrogantly don't want to accept the truth, which is fine. I mean, it seems like these guys, they just don't want to accept the truth. Cool. You saved me time. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's continue. And just watch his face. And this guy has been quiet this whole time, by the way.
Yeah.
He never spoke. He only speaks when I get his friend busted. That's what's...
Who perform miracles, change the water into wine, multiplied bread and probably fishes as well, resurrected a girl, resurrected Lazarus, healed the ear of a soldier that was cut by his follower, then died, resurrected 3 days later, went up in the sky in front of thousands of people, and yet nobody wrote, "Hey, this is what I saw today," or "Nothing survived, nothing remained." And we are talking about the chosen people, the followers of the God Yahweh. It's quite strange, but this land that is described as evil, right? Egypt, we have so many artifacts that remain and survive. But feel free, Mutaz.
Yeah, but what do you think about the shroud turtle, which is the cloth that Jesus was actually wearing?
I was on mute. Yes, I've heard about the Shroud of Turin. There's no writing on it, so we can leave that aside. I can just take a
You can leave it aside. So that's it. Just put it to the side because there's no writing on it. So. Well,
Before that, he actually asked me, "Do you have evidence, something that I can actually see?" He did not say
writing on it.
writing on it. He did not say texts.
Well, actually, if you really research, there is writing on it because the coins on Jesus's eyes have writing on it, and so there is writing on it. You know, but
Steve, the blood that he was stabbed, the place that he was stabbed, it's still there. This guy, you know, I don't know. Let's continue.
Like, if I do this,
So basically, the Shroud Turin that they found.
and I said, look, this is the Shrine of Turin. This is what they use or not?
No, but you can see that the face of Jesus.
We
So
don't
that's
see
what,
any face at all. We don't see any face on the Shrine of Turin.
Are you sure?
Have you
I'm
studied it?
sure, 100%. Come again?
Okay.
Okay.
I sent you the link.
Now watch this. The comments. These guys were making so much fun of him. It's unbelievable. This guy is an absolute joke, and his silent friend here.
Now, I want you to see it.
Okay, well, you know what? We're going to do something better. Let's see if they have an article on Encyclopedia Britannica. Otherwise, we're going to go to the people's favorite, which is Wikipedia. So, I'm going to share the link.
Mutaz.
Yes.
I think we've got enough, you know, here, mate. Do you want to go hunting somewhere else? I can edit up the evidence into it, and we can bury it.
Hunting somewhere else. What kind of vocabulary? Hunting somewhere. And you're free to leave, but it's funny. So you guys are hunting. Okay, Shroud of Turin, Encyclopedia Britannica. The link is in the chat. And here is the Shroud of Turin here. So
I want you to
there it is.
zoom in on his face.
Sorry, here I am. Can you please go on mute whenever you don't speak because you have a loud background noise?
For me?
Thank you. No. Go ahead, Mutaz. Feel free.
Yeah. Can you zoom in his face? This is
Okay.
a very, very old Shroud Turin. It's found somewhere in Jerusalem, which is very close in my home country, by the way. Also, again, can you zoom in his face?
What you call a face? Yes.
Zoom. Yeah. Go. Yeah. Go zoom. Are you scared?
That's what I'm doing. I'm zooming.
Okay.
So you call that a face?
Okay. Stop. Now, does that look like a face or not?
Not to me, no.
To you, no?
No, it doesn't look like a face to me.
Okay. I want you.
So are you saying are you saying that it's the face of? Okay, feel free.
I'm not arguing with you. Look, you believe what you want to believe.
Okay?
Okay?
Oh, feel free. I'm listening.
Yeah. Also, I want you to zoom in also on the blood that is on his forehead.
The blood.
Yes.
Okay.
This is actually blood.
You just want me to zoom in. So you call that blood, right? This thing here.
Yeah, because he
Okay.
used to wear the thing when he was on the cross.
the closer it gets, the more.
So if it is blood.
Oh, what?
I'm just saying that the more he zooms, the more it looks like a face. I mean, it's so clear that it's a mouth with eyes, with nose, with cheeks, with hair, with a beard. It's so clear. I mean,
then it is possible to get DNA, right?
Yes.
I mean, look at the comments.
what did they say at the comments? Yeah, that face totally isn't a face.
Shakira. By the way, this guy, his name is Shaka, and and these guys are making fun of his name by calling him Shakira, and he got upset.
Look at Johnny Mac. I'm sorry, but I don't actually believe that you cannot see a face in this image.
Yeah,
The man has to pretend to be ignorant. Oh, wow. I cringe, evidence denier. This man seems to be very sure of himself in his lack of education. Think that's great, man. Praise the Lord, and you know what? When you're doing something like this, no matter what the guy says, the host, the fact is you have all these other people that are watching. And those people, they know what they're seeing, so you're either strengthening their faith or you're showing them something that they haven't seen before, so and
I
the
mean, yeah.
yeah, and the Shroud of Turin, how did that image get on there? How did that image get on there? It's almost impossible to get an image like that. That is a perfect photo negative, and the only way that could have happened if there was this unbelievably brilliant light that exploded like a nuclear bomb to imprint that image onto there. And so,
I mean, look, Steve, I did my best.
that's
You know what
awesome.
I'm saying?
Awesome.
Okay, let's
And
continue.
they did actually
I
got
was
the
wondering,
DNA, but
have
they
you
didn't get the DNA from
The
the
DNA of
shroud.
Jesus Christ.
But if you go down, also in the blood,
Oh, what happened?
Ron White actually did took a blood sample, and as you can see, this is where the blood.
And I was about to finish my sentence that Ron White took a blood sample from the Ark of the Covenant
Mhm.
because because that was the place when Jesus was crucified, and the blood and the water came down all the way to the Ark of the Covenant. This is where Ron White, he took the blood, okay, and he went to the one of the labs in Israel, and he actually found out that this blood has about 23 chromosomes from his mother and one Y, because the rest is from his father.
Mhm.
But he did not want me to finish this sentence because this dude is not genuine.
Mhm. But you planted the seed, and maybe that. And have you heard of Gary Habermas?
No,
No,
I didn't.
I'm going to write it right down here. Okay, I'm going to write
Okay.
it, and I want you to go look at what he did. This guy is This guy is a doctor. Okay, he's, I like Ron Wyatt, but this guy is like 100 times higher than Ron Wyatt. Okay, and his name is Gary Habermas, and he studied the Shroud of Turin, and so he has very credible evidence about the Shroud of Turin that that you can use next time you get an opportunity to share something like this. But that's awesome, man. Hallelujah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue because this guy is gonna keep shaking, and you're gonna notice it.
blood got in because of the weapon that the Roman shoulder had stabbed him here on his rib, the shroud.
Just of Jesus Christ.
No, we don't have the DNA. We have the blood. And Ron White took a blood sample from the Ark of the Covenant when Jesus was crucified. You see, when he was
Okay,
crucified,
but
uh,
can
Do you see that? He just keep interrupt me like always. I mean, whatever.
we get DNA out of blood?
DNA.
100%, accurate.
Ark of the Covenant. When he blood was actually Ark of the Covenant, away from the distance. And not a video. Blurry. So I apologize. This is the best. This is what to
Yeah.
the
I
hour.
just want to read Linen, pair of the Cathedral of San Giovanni Battista in Turin, Italy. Scientific methods to prove or disprove its authenticity have been applied to the shrine since the late 19th century. It was early noticed, 1898, that the sepia tone images on the shroud seem to have the character of photographic negatives rather than positives. Beginning in the 70s, tests were made to determine whether the images were the result of paints or other pigments, scorches, or other agents. None of the tests proved conclusive. I guess we can stop here, So if you believe it's Jesus, feel free. There's no name.
So basically, just because he read some texts, he immediately, boom, you know what? This is not true. This is not real. I mean, come on. Like, scholars, they have a policy to keep things in secret. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe just a
It was great that you showed him that image. You know what's going to
Yeah.
happen? You know what's going to happen? He's going to have dreams about that image now.
Yeah, because I told him, zoom in, look at his face.
He's going to have dreams about that now.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yes.
Now, where do you want me to go?
Well, there's the video.
And hold on. If you don't mind, this person here, on the respect.
By the way, I sent the video table.
Honestly, I've been streaming for 2 hours and 41 minutes, and I'm not really looking forward to watch videos. But if you have articles, right, I'm more than happy to watch, whether it's an encyclopedia or any website. You know what I'm saying? I'm more than happy, But for us to just sit down and look at videos, what you can do in your own time is prepare the timestamp and take the pictures. Yes, feel free.
Yeah, sorry. It's not a video. It's just that, like, I so you can see the picture and that's it. But,
Okay, so we're gonna see the. Okay, so that's the.
I mean, this guy, he is not going to watch this whole video. Even though at the end, I told him that, you know what I'm saying, that this is actually what it looks like.
And 52 seconds.
And I told him that the picture is not very clear.
But it's actually 2 hours 49 right
basically, the picture of the
sound.
As you can,
Let's go.
This is basically the picture of the Ark of the Covenant from behind. As you can see, the picture is not very clear because of the quality. And this was back in the day, I believe, in the early 2000s.
I'm sorry. You said 2 hours 14 minutes. Well, is that the Ark of Covenant?
Yes, this is the Ark of the Covenant from behind, not from the front exactly, because Ron White was actually trying to put the camera inside the hole because the Ark of the Covenant is completely covered, and so he tried to.
To me, it looks like popcorn, so or cheese, or it's not clear at all. Like is there any PhD that says that this is the Ark of Covenant?
Okay, but you have to continue watching the video so it can give you what is actually.
Okay. Let's continue. Look, the video is playing.
Yeah.
So this is, obviously some drawing, so that's not the original artifact or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is now Mutaz. You're just maintaining that what we are looking at right now is the Ark of Covenant. Do you?
But the picture is very blurry because this was way back in the day. I believe in 2001 or somewhere in the 90s. So that's all I have. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm not trying to convince you again. You know what I'm saying? But that's what.
Okay.
Now,
well, thank you very much. Now here I am, Lord, send me. Do you also agree that this is the Ark of Covenant that we are looking at right now?
Yeah, of course I do, because I've watched the whole video.
Okay, thank you. Well, you are always welcome. Yes, go ahead, Mutaz.
Yeah, but if it actually looks like a popcorn, it will actually be white, not gold. Do you agree?
So popcorn is only white.
No, of course.
We don't
There's
have no
a
goldish color for popcorn.
it looks very
Okay.
golden, and it has, you
Cool.
can see the lighting. Does a popcorn, does a yellow popcorn has lighting to it? Come on.
Shaka,
Well, the thing is this. Hold on. Yeah, you can ask me. I just want to say this. There is no PhD to my knowledge that says that this is the Ark of Covenant. Go ahead. Here I am, Lord. Go ahead.
Jesus, can you hear me?
Feel free to
You
unmute
can hear
yourself,
me.
brother.
What are
Feel free
your
to unmute
thoughts on
yourself.
this, Jesus? We're discussing your word. What are your thoughts on this? Your name's Jesus, isn't it? Jesus of Nazareth, or just
I'm gonna
Jesus?
just talk to Shaka when it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter. Okay. Well, it'd be quite important. He has risen. It's Sunday. You know what I mean? You're looking good, mate. You're looking good. Last time we heard about you in a bad situation. You're in a bad situation. You've got out there. So just a quick question, Jesus. I really want to ask this one. Which do you think is more interesting? The fact that we're mentioning all that these places have evidence and you could test them out with your eyes, or the fact that Shaka is saying, oh, a man has written this on a paper, so it must be true? Which do you think logically is easier to prove? Take your time, Jesus.
I don't believe that we've seen any evidence of any of the things that have happened in the Bible.
Okay, have you looked
in the Bible?
Okay, I'd encourage you, Jesus. I'm a big fan of yours, by the way. I'm a really big fan. What I'd encourage you to do is called like and subscribe on my channel, and go into the video underneath. And I think it's at The Truth Is Not Subjective is the name of the YouTube channel.
You're wasting your time with me on that stuff, man. I got out of that a long time ago.
Were you hurt by the church, or?
No, I'm not hurt by the church.
Did someone tell you
screw up?
Stop to get bad or something? You did look at the evidence of the Bible, didn't you? You didn't just trust man, because man can write pieces of paper and man can lie, but evidence doesn't talk. It just is. You didn't? Did you use your eyes?
Wasting your time. I've been through this.
Well, I just want to tell you, Jesus loves you. I love you as well, mate.
Adam, did you show Shaka the Sodom and Gomorrah?
Sodom and Gomorrah. We could do that one, but I don't think they play it. I mean, God said He destroyed 2 cities with brimstone and fire, and He left them there as a testament. And those cities are there. I mean, you can get a plane if you want. You could do a little GoFundMe.
Yes.
Send Jesus to Sodom and Gomorrah.
I think that's good, bro.
No. There's even still more. By the way, how much time we have? Oh, okay. We can just take.
Maybe we could do it another time. But that was really good, showing him the Shroud of Turin. And I just want to say something about the Ron White video. Just that I don't think he said that was actually the Ark of the Covenant, but that it was a fissure in the hill, like a crack in the hill where the crucifixion happened, where the blood dripped down and would have led to the place where the Ark of because I don't believe they found the Ark of the Covenant yet. Okay. They don't actually have the Ark of the Covenant. And so I think that's what he was saying is that the actual Ark of the Covenant? They don't. The Jews say that they have it. Okay. Some do. Okay. But I don't believe they have the Ark of the Covenant. And I don't think that I think what Ron White said, because I watched that video, is that these fissures or these holes were led to the place where Jeremiah hid the Ark of the Covenant when the Babylonians came. And it may have ended up landing on the Ark of the Covenant, but they didn't actually have the Ark of the Covenant there. And so anyway, that's what I understood from the Ron Wyatt video. And because if the Ark of the Covenant was found, it would be earth-shattering. It would be in all over the news. You know, it's a huge, probably the biggest archaeological find ever. And so, but what Ron Wyatt was saying, there's fissures in the hills where the cross was, and cracks in the rock that the blood seeped through, and they took some samples of that blood, and they found it had 23 chromosomes instead of 46. You know, because kids have 23 chromosomes from the father, 23 from the mother, but this blood only had 23. It didn't have 46 because of the you know, he didn't have the chromosomes from a human father. So
exactly. But I wish I had these test results in a website or in a paper, but you can't get them.
yeah,
Which is kind of sucks. Anyway.
You know what though? I really think with the Shroud of Turin stuff, you really look at the Gary Habermas stuff. Just because Gary Habermas is much more respected than Ron Wyatt. Okay, he's a doctor, PhD, and he has done studies on the Shroud of Turin. You know, his whole focus of study is the resurrection of Jesus Christ. He did his whole doctorate thesis on the resurrection, and he's written so many books about the resurrection. It's amazing. But he also did this amazing thing on the Shroud of Turin, and just the way your brain works, I can see the way your brain works. It would give you concrete evidence about the Shroud of Turin that would really help in a situation like this. I mean, what you did was great. What you did was awesome, and presenting those pictures in the way that the chat was completely on your side. You know, that's awesome, man. So
Both Mutas and here I am, here I am, Lord sent me, just said that Sodom and Gomorrah is found. That's what you guys are saying, right?
Yeah, the video. Hang on 2 seconds, Mutas. The video that was slowing down my computer, which isn't now, I just finished processing. It's going to be uploaded tomorrow, so you're more than welcome to watch that one if you want.
Is there any PhD that says that Sodom and Gomorrah is it has been located? Is there any PhD that says that?
Do you need a PhD?
Wait a second. You don't need a PhD or anything else that you can actually go and see for yourself and actually test.
Well, I can go around the world, right?
He's trying, like he did with the shirt. He's doing the same thing he did with the shirt. You know, he took that shirt and said, I can say this is on Jesus, this is Shroud, you know, and so he's now trying to say, go anywhere and say it's Sodom and Gomorrah, you know, even though there's so much evidence about the Sodom and Gomorrah too.
Anyone can actually go there and visit the city. You don't need access from the government.
Yeah, you can actually, even Josephus, who, you know, was in Jesus's time, he said that they knew where Sodom and Gomorrah was, and that it still had the smell of the sulfur. It still had the smell of the sulfur, you know, and so it's not like they just discovered it. They've known about it forever, you know.
Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah.
Do you need a PhD?
Wait a second. You don't need a PhD or anything else that you can actually go and see for yourself and actually test.
Well, I can go around the world, right? And I can say, look, this is Superman's house. You know, I can believe that. But no PhD says, look, Superman's house or Spider-Man's house has been located, right? So when you guys claim that Sodom and Gomorrah have been located, you can believe that, you can claim that. But is there any PhD that agrees with that, that said that? Yes or no?
Yes, the people who actually took the
Please
rock.
give us the name of the PhD.
Well,
Don't worry, don't waste your time with that, mate. We've got the edits. We'll just put the video in.
Will have PhDs or not PhDs. If you can go there, which is, I believe, Adam, is it located in Jordan, the cities, southern and
Yeah. I mean, there's 5 cities actually. There's 3 towns and there's 2 cities.
Exactly.
But if you don't mind answering my question, is there any PhD that has stated that Sodom and Gomorrah have been located? Yes or no?
Shaka, why would I have looked into that? Why does that make logical
Brother,
sense?
can you just answer yes or no? Is there any PhD that have stated that Sodom and Gomorrah have been located?
Shaka, why would I have looked into that?
Okay, it's okay. You don't want to answer. You have the right to run. It's okay. You know, Jesus will help you. God will help you. You're running from the question. It's a very simple question. Yes or no? Is there any PhD that stated that Sodom and Gomorrah?
Look at the comments. They are calling him Shakira. He does not like that, by the way. And look at this comment.
Abdullah or atheist. You know what? You know what's interesting is watching the black guy, because I think the black guy, he's watching, and I think he can tell how weak this guy's arguments are.
It's so stupid. It's unbelievable.
It's like you watch his face. It's like it doesn't sound like he's really impressed by the arguments that this guy's making. So
look at the mustache, bro. Look at the mustache. Okay. Stop. I look like I look like the Middle Eastern version of Super Mario.
Super Mahmoud. So
Super Mahmoud. Yeah.
Hey, brother, we've been on here for almost 2 hours now.
Oh crap! Okay.
So, Blackwater, we are ending soon. If you want to just come on and say something, you can go ahead. We have Osterjag here with us. Welcome, Osterjag.
Hi, Hussein. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Okay. We'll be on tomorrow night, Blackwater, if you'd like to come on, Joe. Sorry, man. Yes. But Osterjag, I wanted to ask you a question.
Every time you ask that question,
Okay. I just wanted to ask you, if a man, has a son, and he goes to his house when his son is not home, and he flirts with the wife, what would you think of that, man?
That's a different story. It's not what you are saying, Hussein.
Is that okay?
It's not the way you are saying.
Well, what story is it?
It's a different story about Zaid and Muhammad.
Yeah, what happened? Can you tell me?
See, these stories will not make a false faith true, Hussein.
Well, just tell me.
You have to see the faith. What is the faith? If there is no faith, wrong faith or false faith, you don't get to these stories.
Okay, but what happened in this?
Just if you keep on criticizing this is also not the correct way or the correct story you are presenting. Even if it will not make a false faith true.
Do you think Sahih al-Bukhari is false?
It's not false. It's correct, but it's a proper story. Is different one.
Oh,
I know that story. I have heard of it. Said.
yeah. So what do you think? Forget that Muhammad did it. Forget
Okay,
that.
this story. Okay, Sahih al-Bukhari. This story. Will this
Yeah,
make all Buddhist faith, Hindu faith true?
uh, I didn't understand what you said, but can we stay
This
on? Can we
this
stay on subject?
story about Sahih al-Bukhari. Will this make Buddhist faith true or Hindu faith true?
Well, I don't. You know what? I think all of it's nuts. I think all of it's crazy. But it's your holy book. You
Yeah, I
know.
know that.
I know it's your holy book. Sahih
I know
al-Bukhari
that.
is next to the Quran.
I know that. I never deny.
The book of Sunni Islam. And
I
so
know.
when it says that Muhammad went to his son's house and talked to his wife, saw his wife when she was almost naked, and fell in love with his son's wife, and then married his son's wife. I mean, what kind of a man is it that does that? Is that a good man who does something like that? Do you think it's a good man if you heard somebody did that, went to his son's house and then married his daughter-in-law? Would you respect a man like that? Would you do that to your son? Would you do that to your son? I don't think you would. You know what? Because you seem like a nice person. I don't think you would do that, Oscar. You know? But Muhammad did it. Muhammad did. So what kind of a man is it that does
He was adopted son. He was not a true son.
What?
He was the adopted one. He was not a true one.
He was not what?
Adopted son. He was not his biological son.
It was not. Oh, okay. Would you do it to your adopted son? If you had an adopted son, would you go marry his wife? Would you do it? If you saw a young kid and then you took him, you adopted him, and raised him as your own son, and then one day, and you even told people, this is son of Ostrogate, Ibn Ostrogate, because they used to call Zayd Ibn Muhammad. Zayd was called Ibn Muhammad, Zayd Ibn Muhammad. He was called Ibn Muhammad like I'm called Ibn Musa. Okay? And I mean, Muhammad considered him his son. He said Ibn Muhammad. He gave him his name. And then, would you do that? Would you do that to your son, your adopted son's wife? Would you do that, Oscar Jake? I don't think
What
you
kind
would.
of question is this?
Well, you know what? Your prophet did it. Your prophet did it. And so I'm wondering if you would do it. I don't think you would. Because I think you're a good person. I don't think you would do that, Oscar Jake. But Muhammad did do that. And you're following Muhammad. He did it. You know he did it. It's in the Quran. It's in the Quran that he did it. And you follow him. Even though you wouldn't do it. You have to keep clearing your throat, but you wouldn't do it. You're a good person. I don't think you would ever do something like that to your son. You wouldn't do that to your son. But Muhammad did do it to his son. He did do it to his son. And so, that's my question, why would you follow someone like that who did something like that to his son? And then say, oh, he's not my son anymore. And then say, oops, he's not my son anymore. I don't have no sons. No sons. Muhammad has no son after he wanted his wife. And so, yeah, I just didn't think you would do it. I just want to tell you, I respect you enough to know that you would never do something. And I thank you that you have the character not like Muhammad. Muhammad did. So, clear your throat. Come on.
Okay. Now come to faith. Why don't you follow the Buddhist faith? Buddha did such things.
Huh?
Just follow the Buddhist faith.
Follow the
Following
what?
this Christianity faith. Same.
Well, you know what? You're following
Buddhist faith
the,
is
you're
much
following,
better than Christianity faith.
you're following a man like that.
Okay. Well, I just asking you to stop following Jesus as Bible. Just follow the Buddhist faith. That's much better.
I'm following Jesus, and
I'm
Jesus.
asking you to change your faith to Buddhist
Yeah,
faith.
but
Why don't you want to follow Buddhist faith?
Jesus never
Buddha
did.
was good. Buddha is good history. Follow Buddhist faith.
Jesus never did anything like that. Why would you follow someone like Muhammad when there's somebody?
Why particularly follow Jesus faith? I am saying Jesus faith is wrong. Abandon Jesus faith. Jesus faith is wrong. Follow Buddhist faith.
To follow someone who married his daughter,
Buddha married his
follow
daughter.
somebody who married his daughter.
Buddha married his daughter.
He married his
Gautam
daughter.
Buddha.
Muhammad,
Gautam Buddha.
he married his son's wife.
I'm asking you, why don't you follow Gautam Buddha?
Ostrich. Would you follow a man and his example and his teaching if he was a pedophile, a homosexual who raped many women? He was the first anti-Semitic. He even killed so many Jews and took the women and raped them. Is this a man that you want to follow him as a role model while you have Jesus Christ?
Why do you follow Jesus Christ? You would follow someone who does, according to your faith, who does not even have a biological father. What was the character of his mother?
Yeah, because his father was God.
This is your myth, yeah. Everybody, woman who does not have his children father, his father to his God.
What do you mean?
This is wrong concepts which you follow. Why don't you follow Buddhist faith?
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Why don't you follow
your voice is very.
Gautam Buddha?
Gautam Buddha?
Yeah, follow him.
Well, he's dead. All prophets, all religious founders are dead, except one. That is Jesus Christ.
That's your myth. You don't know anything. You just going on some scriptures. You have never saw anything.
If you want to follow the guy who married his son's wife, you can do that. But one day God's going to ask you, why did you follow somebody who married his son's wife? And you could say, well, I would have never done it, Allah. He's going to say, well, you followed somebody but you got behind somebody who did do that. And he's in hell, and he's going to hell. And because you followed him, you're going to end up where he is. And even Muhammad, he said, I don't know where I'm going. He knew that he was going to have to pay for the stuff he did. And and if you
what if I say I have shown him with my eyes?
Huh?
I have shown him with my eyes in heaven. Will you believe then?
Well, if you saw him, you saw. That worries me even more. If you saw him, that worries me even more. Okay?
Does not
If
worry.
you saw him in heaven,
Does not worry.
The devil knows how to. The devil knows how to put on a white dress. Even the Quran, the Shaitan came one time like Jibreel. Didn't he come like Jibreel? Muhammad thought he was Jibreel, but it was the Shaitan. The Shaitan can put on different faces.
You follow Bukhari very correctly. When you criticize Islam, you say this is in Sayyid Bukhari, this is in Sayyid Bukhari. There is a hadith which clearly says that Shaitan cannot take the face of Prophet Muhammad.
Well,
he cannot. It is clearly hadith, the hadith which you follow.
But is Muhammad
Aisha age, Zayd,
Muhammad
and
higher
everything.
than Jibreel? Is Muhammad higher than Jibreel? Is
Of
Muhammad
course.
higher than Jibreel?
Of course.
He is higher than Jibreel. Oh, okay. because the shaitan came in the form of Jibreel to Muhammad. So, you know, if Muhammad is higher than Jibreel, then you've got a new, of course, you've got a new religion anyway. But anyway, I just want you to think about that. Please think about it. You're following a man who married his son's wife, who made his son divorce his wife so he could marry her. That's who you're following. You wouldn't do it. You would not do that because you're a good man. You would never do that to your son or your adopted son because you're a good man. But your prophet did it. And you're following him. So I hope you'll repent and stop following him. And every Muslim, I hope every Muslim will also stop following him because he married his son's wife. He married his son's wife. If you want to read about it, look in Surah Al-Ahzab, verse 37. Surah Al-Ahzab, verse 37. Muhammad's affair, marriage to Zainab bint Jahsh. So, all right, you guys. We've been on for almost 2 hours, and I was working all day. Montez, thank you so much, my brother, for sharing that beautiful video. I especially love the Shout of Turin thing. That was awesome.
I forced him. Yeah, I forced him to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know,
look.
That's more powerful than words. Looking at that picture is more powerful than words. You forced him to look at it. Awesome. So
And yeah, and also, by the way, I'm very, very sorry, Steve, but there is a small clip that you need to see it. It's so funny.
okay.
Hold on a sec. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. We're not taking like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. It's just going to be like very little. Okay, I'm gonna have to go here.
Didn't see the video. It's not evident. Ask your question. Respectful. That's just no. Not everyone does your question. Feel free.
Yeah. Okay. Crisis Skin, please don't call him Shakira.
Oh no. Don't worry. He's his own man. Don't worry. It's not your fault. Feel free, Mutaz. Ask your question. Feel free.
Yeah. So basically, we give you all these evidence, yet you still don't
claims. It's not evidence. That's claims. So feel free.
Okay, no problem. You believe what you want to believe. The city of Sodom and Gomorrah, these are not evidence.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question. Come again, please.
Is the Sodom and Gomorrah the video that I sent you, which is actually it's in your browser, by the way. This is not evidence for you?
I didn't see the video. You probably shared it in the private chat, but I didn't see the video.
So basically, you haven't seen the video, you haven't done the research, and yet you are trying to say that all these are just claims?
I'm not trying to say anything. I just asked if a PhD in Gomorrah, and you guys have not answered. Because you see, if I spend my time looking at, I will not be able to make a.
I'm sorry, but this is a very stupid question. You don't need a PhD.
Okay. So listen, since you say it's a stupid question, if I send you a video, and it's some people who claim it of us and all these fictional characters, will you look at the video?
Of course, I will look at the video, but I will not believe it because it's fiction. And Gomorrah is actually real. And
Moses is fiction.
Moses is fiction?
Huh?
Moses is fiction.
Yeah.
He's a Muslim and he says Moses is fiction?
No. This dude is not a Muslim. He believes in the. I believe he's atheist or something like that.
Okay. I thought he was a Muslim. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Even so,
here I am, Lord is singing.
The rules that you're asking us. The rules that you're asking us to go by. To just
look at the comments.
Hips don't lie. That's a Shakira song, by the way. Okay, show me the evidence. Here's some evidence. I don't want to look at that. I tell you, some of the people who are in the comment section, they come up with some of the funniest jokes, man. Shakira, Shakira, Shakira. Yeah.
That's yapping and mush. Wow.
That's funny.
Okay. Let's continue. Just one more, and that's it.
Me. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just believe.
There's a Shakira that goes to CP's channel all the time. No, he
stuff
calls
because
it
somebody said it.
Shakira, yeah.
Okay.
You don't go by those rules
Bro, Adam was so funny. He was just dancing around while these guys are shaking.
for anything outside of your religious books.
I do. And all the ancient religion, they're basically fake.
Can't you accept the Cinderella story then?
The white didn't last and died off.
Why don't you accept the Cinderella story?
They're so salty.
Why? Because it's based on fiction. They're not based on real people.
The Exodus story is based on fiction. It's not based on real people. Moses was not real. It's
Somebody
not
said
attested historically.
Okay, so the video that you saw, did you actually saw it or you just?
Shakira, do you believe in God?
You already asked me if I saw that video, and I told you I did not see that latest one that you shared. I haven't seen it.
Shakira, do you believe in God?
Oh, you call me Shakira?
No, do you believe in God?
Yo, guys.
Okay. Now, he feel free to come back whenever you want. So that's why I put him out. Now, Mutaz, feel free to come back whenever you want. Okay, it was great talking to you because you are respectful. Even though we disagree, we are respectful towards one another, and I love that.
Shaka, and I believe talking with you, you seem very a little bit of research. I like your question. Talking with you, you seem very knowledgeable. I like your question, but come on, do a little bit of research. Do you see that?
I've done research for many years. I've done research for over 20 years. You know.
It sounds like it.
Huh?
Doesn't sound like it.
I mean, this,
doing research for many years. It doesn't sound like it.
you know, people are just biased.
Yeah, they got their bias, and they don't want to give it up. It doesn't matter what the evidence shows. But you put a rock in their shoe. You put a rock in their shoe, and let the Holy Spirit deal with them. So.
And this guy is so angry. Look at his face. Does this even sound like a does he look like a happy guy?
I think he wasn't very impressed with his friend's research.
Yeah.
Have dinner and watch this video.
Rather than videos, I'm listening to scholars. I'm listening to PhDs. You know, and with scholarship, that's the best thing to do. Because anybody can make a video. I can make a video and say, look, this is Superman's house. But PhDs, they don't make claims like that because they follow some academic, rules, and they don't want to make a fool of themselves because they have peers. Their peers will laugh at them if they make claims, But Mutaz, we can always talk again some other time. You are welcome anytime. All right?
Okay, but just
the dude want me to the dude don't want me to have to continue the discussion. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A question, and that's it. If all doctors have PhD, why are we still people are getting sick? Does that mean that we should trust doctors even though they all have PhD?
Sickness is not based on the academic qualification of the doctors.
I'm using this as an example. That's it. What's your answer?
Okay, come again with the question then.
If all doctors have PhDs and people are still getting sick, does that mean that we should trust doctors even though the healthcare system is not doing very well?
The healthcare system is doing very well. So yes, we should trust the doctors because they are qualified. They have studies and they know their trade. So my stance is that yes, we should trust the doctors, the medical doctors. They are skilled and knowledgeable.
Successful, curing all the sickness.
Look at the comments. Look at the comments. This guy doesn't know what a PhD is. PhD is don't write history. He doesn't even know the basics. Hips don't lie.
Wow.
They toast him.
Well, not
So-
curing
so
all
if-
sickness
if-
doesn't
if
mean
you-
that they are
if
unsuccessful.
you-
Some sickness have
you-
no cure.
If you have to go, to another country on a flight, you're not gonna want to.
Yeah, Peter, I actually told them. I told them that there were chariots, there were wheels, there were parts. They said, "Oh, but these are just wheels." Huh. Look, what do you do with these people? Anyway, let's continue.
Choose a pilot who's accredited.
Cure.
If you have to go, to another country on a flight, you're not going to want to choose a pilot who's accredited and got the experience in flying, got whatever degrees he needs to and whatnot, whatever. You'd rather just go with some regular person who just says he's a pilot and doesn't have anything going for him behind that.
Some jobs do actually require a certificate or a license. But if all pilots are not doing well, does that mean that we should trust pilots even though they have a license? No. But anyway, Shaka, and what's your name, sir?
Jesus.
Jesus. Wow,
Yeah.
nice name. I think I should call you Joshua, because that's actually.
And basically, that was it.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that with us.
I did my best, and they kind of want me to be out, basically.
Sure, of course. But you,
So-
there's people listening, and you never know it. You never know what's going to happen. The Word of God is powerful. If their heart is open, the Holy Spirit can come and work with what you did there today. So we always need to seize every opportunity. So praise the Lord for what you did, and may God use it to open eyes of people who have the decency not to marry their sons' wives, but still are willing to follow somebody who did, So, yeah, so, all right,
But,
you guys. Yes.
Yeah, but anyway, I tried my best. I did my best. I brought all the evidence. I didn't try to argue or debate, because the Word of God
Amen.
does not need,
Yes.
for you to argue about it. You know what I'm saying? I did not lie. I did not do anything wrong. All I did was just give him the evidence. And the best thing, when he stuttered,
Yeah. Lord
so
bless.
anyway,
Thank you, brother, for
I-
sharing that.
thank you.
Yes, it was a blessing. And thank you, Oster Jake, for coming on. Thank you for being a good man. Thank you that you would not marry your daughter-in-law. Now stop following somebody who did, okay? So
You start following that, Hussein.
stop following someone who
Revert
married.
to Islam.
Stop following someone who married his son's wife. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate it. If you haven't done it, please do it now. Black Oster Jake, do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Yesur sa'idni. Yesur samahni. Yesur utbal qalbi. He loves you. We love you. And have a wonderful post-resurrection Sunday day. The Lord bless you guys.
Amen.
If you have ever wondered why dull apologists lie so much, It's because on a rare occasion that they tell the truth, this happens.
One of the reasons I accepted Islam was the scientific miracles. I'll be honest with you. And now we know that this whole scientific miracles was absolute nonsense.
You're going to have to...
That the standard narrative has holes in it. That's what I'm going to say.